everybody, Coach Bess here in my kitchen, and I just wanted to invite you in with me today as I make a little bit of banana bread. I'm actually making my famous recipe that I've been making for over 20 years now that people literally request from me because it's such a good, beautiful banana nut or banana bread recipe. I'm making it into muffins today. Oops, I just lost my little things. I'm making it into muffins, and I'm gonna make this batch gluten-free because I have to be gluten-free right now with what my body is dealing with. I have a chronic illness. I'm dealing with an autoimmune, and so I have to be gluten-free right now to try to heal my body and stop the attack that's going on with my thyroid. And so if you have any kind of chronic pain, chronic illness, really consider trying out going gluten-free. It has completely changed the way I feel recently. And this actually is my favorite brand. I've tried so many gluten-free flours for this recipe, and I've landed on this one. If you do make this gluten-free, otherwise pick your favorite flour and let's get baking, okay? But the reason I like this one, guys, is a lot of gluten-free flours and products out there are kind of gummy. Gummy is a good word, and I can't stand that. I can't stand to feel like what I'm eating is gluten-free. So I love this brand for this recipe. I'm not an affiliate or anything like that, just a little bonus tip if you're looking for that. So I make this recipe often. My kids ask me for it. I take and I actually have it on my website, but I'm about to add the gluten-free muffins version to the Fresh Start for Health website. You guys, if you haven't been there yet, it's freshstartforhealth.org, and there's some amazing recipes over there, and that's our website, freshstartforhealth.org. Hey, everybody, I see people are joining me. Welcome. Coach Bess here in my home kitchen, and just trying to figure out how to position this camera. You see a lot of counter, it looks like, so I'm going to have to be working on how I do this. But I just wanted to invite you in more often. I cook in this kitchen, I bake in this kitchen constantly, and I realized I'm never posting anything. I'm never showing you guys this side. I test recipes for the blog and our cookbooks all the time. We actually don't have any cookbooks in the store right now because I am revamping every single one. That's not true. We do have our grilling cookbook in the store, but I am working on, that's my little doggies being loud and obnoxious. I'm working on a family dinners cookbook right now. So I'd love to hear requests and, you know, what are your struggles with dinner? I'd love to know what you guys want to see more of. If you haven't seen, we have just a huge database of recipes on our site, freshstartforhealth.org, recipe box, or just go up to the top and you'll see recipes. So what I do is I mash these bananas, and everybody's got a different idea of when a banana is good for banana bread. Me personally, excuse my nose, I don't want them fully browned and goopy. I feel like then the whole bread tastes like bananas that are almost gone. I have to wash my hands, guys. So, me personally, I'm gonna stick with, oh my gosh, I can't believe my nose right in front of you guys. Anyway, I'm gonna stick with kind of in between. They're getting soft, they've got some brown spots, but they're not like completely bad, okay? When you see the bananas starting to go too bad, too fast, you can peel them, stick the fruit part in a Ziploc, or use your trusty food saver. If you guys have one of those, we love our food saver. Cannot live without this thing. Look, these are my walnuts from Christmas time when they were such a good deal at Costco and at the grocery store. We went and bought a bunch of walnuts, and we separated them out into half-cup portions in our freezer packs using the, what's it called, freeze saver? Something like that. So that little machine has saved us because we can buy stuff in bulk and it doesn't go bad. So you can do the same thing with the bananas, but you need to peel them first, stick them in here, use your freezer bag, or use a Ziploc and get the air out of it, and stick those in your freezer. and pull them out later for use to make your bread, thaw them out, and you can use them in your bread. So that's a way to save your bananas and not waste a bunch of bananas, but not always feel the pressure that you have to make them right then. All right. Bananas are all mashed up. I'm making a double batch today because here's what I do. I like banana walnut. My kids like banana chocolate chip, and we use the minis so that we're not using as much sugar. We use mini chocolate chips in our muffins. Also, I like that it doesn't make this huge mess when they go to open their muffin or cut the bread. Big chocolate chips seem to have like this huge goopy clump of chocolate in them, and this one, they're so little that it's like a little taste of chocolate without taking over the whole muffin. So we like minis, and so my kids like these and not nuts, and I prefer the nuts. So what I do is I make a double batch. I end up giving a few away. Today I'm gonna go see my friend who is my hairstylist, but she's also my dearest friend, and so she loves this recipe, so I'm gonna bring her a plate of muffins. She always yells at me. She's super fit and healthy, so she doesn't like the temptation, and she has to eat them if I bring them. But I tell her, these are kind of healthy. They're like half banana, and I'm using unsalted butter. I use very little sugar. This is for 2 batches of banana bread. I'm using like a 3/4 cup amount. Very little added sugar. If you see those recipes out there that are calling for 1 cup of sugar in a banana bread recipe, I just want to tell you, it doesn't need that much. You can cut it in half and still have this beautifully dense, beautiful muffin that you bite into. Cut it in half, and you've cut your sugar in half. You're still enjoying a beautiful muffin, but what a interesting thing to do. The bananas themselves are full of sugar. We know this. They're a high sugar fruit. So we don't need to add a bunch of sugar to this recipe. So this is super, sugar's cut down. We've got fiber and good stuff and healthy fats in this recipe. And now in this one, I'm using gluten-free flour, so this is not inflammatory. This is an amazing recipe. If you're getting that crave on for that comfort banana bite into a bread or muffin, this is the way to go, y'all. All right, so I'm gonna throw this together in front of you. Enough talking, Bess. How are you guys doing today? Where's everybody at? Those of you who are watching me, where are you at? Tell me, can see just fine. Oh, wonderful. Tell me where you live. What's the weather like where you live? Over here, we're having 73 degrees today as our high, and I could not be happier. I live in the Southwest desert, and I need my, I'm gonna tell you another tip about this in 2 seconds, but I need my sunshine. I need my heat. I know it's weird. A lot of people can't do heat, but I can't do cold. So I love my desert living over here in Arizona. And so we have a beautiful sunny, warmish day today for January. 73 degrees will be our high. But what are you guys looking at where you're at? Are you in the snow? Is it cold? Talk to me. I want to hear about where you're living and what you're facing. Do you walk out of your house and have to shovel snow? I see those videos and I think, thank you, Jesus, that I'm not in that. Although it's beautiful. The snow is beautiful and I love to visit snow. And I did grow up in rural northern Illinois, right outside of Chicago area. So I do know about snow and big snow. I was actually born in the blizzard of 79. I was born December 78, and that was the big, huge historical blizzard that whole December, January. And I was born at home in a farmhouse, and they had to bring the midwife out in between the 2 blizzards, snowstorms. They got her out there, they birthed me, and then they got her home. And so my mom loves to tell that story because it was so crazy, and that was back when people were just so gutsy having babies. My mom was just gutsy. And look how beautiful this butter and sugar looks. This is the butter and sugar. Okay, enough about me. Here's what we're doing. I mashed the bananas. I've got 4 eggs because it's a double batch, and I'll get you guys the recipe as soon as I get it up on the blog. But I beat up these eggs. I threw in my 2 teaspoons of vanilla, always vanilla with banana bread. Over here, we've got 2 cups of flour. Remember, this recipe, I'm doing gluten-free flour. And then I put my baking soda, my salt, and I mix the dryer all together. You need to stop barking at him. You know him already. So the dry things we mix all together over here. I'm gonna wait to add those in. The wet is here. So why am I doing this all separate? Why can't I just throw everything into the bowl? And some people do, and it turns out great. Hey, my friend, I see you. Thanks for tuning in. So it works out great to throw it all together, but here's what I have found over the years. And again, like I told you, I've been making this recipe over 20 years now, about 30 years. I've found that when you keep them separate and you pre-mix, so mix your eggs and vanilla, beat it real good. Mix your dry goods, stir that together real good. Mix your very softened butter. The butter needs to be softened. Oh, and about your eggs, they need to be room temp. So if you're in a hurry and you just want to make this bread and you didn't think ahead to pull out a couple eggs out of the fridge and set them on the counter, you can put them in warm water for like 5 minutes, lukewarm water, and they will come down to room temp. So that's one tip about your eggs. Your butter should be softened, so whether you use a microwave, I like to just set it out on the counter night before or morning of and let it soften on its own. You can microwave it, you just don't want to liquefy it. So you have this creamy butter, and that's where you mix your sugar. The purpose of keeping these things separate until the end, believe it or not, it makes a difference. I also know people who use their mixer to make their banana bread, and my auntie does that, and I like it, I like that. But there's something really rugged and delicious about hand mixing your bananas, just using a masher, potato masher or something like that. It just comes out different. So try both ways and see what you like. Everybody's different with what they like. So here's what we do. We now are gonna take our egg and vanilla mixture, mix that into sugar and butter. Okay, now I'm mixing. Charles, stop it. Sorry. All right, I am blending my eggs, vanilla, butter, sugar, 2 mixtures together now. So you stop and blend those together. Why do I keep doing that? Because when I've done it the other way and plopped everything into the same bowl just to be quick and get it done, it does not come out the same. So I'm gonna take a minute or two to hand mix this together. Not sure why, don't know the science, but it works. Okay, and who's got their coffee with them? I am so ready for a second cup. I've already had my first cup, but let me tell you, it's a Friday, but it feels a little like a Monday, and I could do another cup of coffee this morning. Who's with me? Who's coffee drinkers with me here? Or do you do tea? Nothing wrong with tea. In fact, tea is better. I can't do tea. It gives me reflux. But isn't that interesting that tea gives me reflux, but coffee does it? All right. Everybody to each their own, right? Some people drink a pink drink. Some people, like me, I gotta have my smoothie with my coffee. Some people it's just lemon water or just a glass of water in the morning. Okay, I put in the first 2 mixtures that I liquefied, put them now in with my mashed bananas. So look, we've got all 3 of those together now. Now we're gonna mix in the dry here at the very end. And you'll notice I haven't even put my toppings in. We've got our mini chocolate chips. We've got our walnut bits, which I took, these were half walnuts. So I took and ran let me show you what I'm doing. Took a cutting board, ran a big knife through them. Okay. Here we go. Did you guys, those of you who maybe weren't on earlier, I was showing you that we use our freezer packet, I forget what it's called. Freeze saver? Anyway, food saver, to actually break down big packages of walnuts because we got it in bulk and got it super affordable over Christmas. And we broke them down into half cups and put them in food saver packs. And so when I opened it, it was like as if I had just gotten this walnut from the store, like so fresh, because I keep this in the freezer. So super awesome tip. Okay, so now my walnuts are ready. I'm getting them ready because we're almost there. Okay. Liquid is all mixed up. Now I'm going to add in my dry. Remember, I've put the baking soda, the salt, and the flour. I'm gonna put maybe a quarter of it and stir. This actually makes a difference that you don't dump the entire thing of flour into your bowl of liquid ingredients. I'm not sure why again. I know it's because it clumps. I don't know why it does that and doesn't do it when we do a little bit at a time. So this isn't the quickest recipe in the world, but I've done it so long, and this is what happens when you start doing recipes that your family loves that can become a regular thing in your routine. You get used to them. You memorize them. It gets easier and easier to make them. You get used to them, okay? And so try it. Try making it. Don't be intimidated by, oh my gosh, she did so many steps and I'll never remember all that. It's okay. I'm gonna write down in the recipe how to do it. You can follow it if you're a recipe follower. If you're a throw it all in the bowl kind of gal or guy, then you can do that too, okay? But the point of healthy, fresh eating, always, you guys are gonna hear, those of you who are with me in my groups and you've been my client or you follow for a while, you hear me say this all the time. The whole idea is to make it simple, affordable, where you can do this all the time on an ongoing basis, week after week. The idea is to make it delicious. Who wants to eat, in an ongoing way? Why would we want to eat stuff that is not delicious? Okay? So that's why diets have gotten such a bad rap, is because we've gotten into the whole being focused more on the goal and what we're trying to do, i.e. lose weight or get healthier. And we've forgotten that food is meant to be enjoyable, delicious, and that it is very possible to make it family friendly to live like this, a healthy lifestyle. Okay, I'm gonna take half my dough out. This turned out a little thick, I noticed. A little thicker than normal, so that's interesting. I didn't do anything different. It probably has to do with each time I do this, the bananas are a different size, right? We don't have guaranteed banana size. I'm only gonna put that much chocolate chips in the chocolate chip side, because we really just don't go overboard on that. So I want to say I put about between a third and a half cup of mini chocolate chips in this batch, okay? I don't know if you can see them in there. So see, they're pretty sparse, and that's the way we like it. We don't want them to take over the recipe. And then in this batch, I'm putting my actually this looks like a cup, but anyway, half cup to a cup, up to you, of walnut bits that I've made from the big walnuts. I chopped them down on a cutting board with a big knife. So this side has walnut bits, as you can see there. All right, guys, so this is looking real, real good. All right, let's put them in the tray here, and I do it pretty simply. Grab a tablespoon, just a regular tablespoon. I'm gonna do my walnut batch first. And I fill them, I wanna say I'm filling these like 3/4 of the way full, so it's like 1 heaping tablespoon. And I just grab it, plop it. That one wasn't enough. And can you see what size I'm filling them to? I'm gonna try to even them out though. Some of them are a little more. I end up kind of being uneven sometimes with my very amateur methods. Okay. So I'm gonna fill this tray. I've got my oven preheated to 350. Everybody's oven is different, y'all. So it could be anywhere from 325 to 375 that you need to use, because everybody's oven heats differently, and it also depends on whether you have an electric or a gas. I am now back on a gas, which I used to love, and I don't know if it's this particular oven, not loving it like I used to. And I maybe because I got used to electric, I had it for the past decade or so and haven't worked on gas in a while. But now that I'm in my new house, it's gas, which I was so excited about, and I still am. But this has taken a little bit of adjustment. It burns stuff easier. It just kind of feels like less controlled So you have to just pay attention to your oven. Is it making things too dark? Is it cooking things too fast? And then you just adjust when you read a recipe. So if you know your oven runs hot and you read a recipe that says do it at 350, you know you might want to do it at 325. So just kind of learn your systems, learn your tools. Okay, so this is the walnut batch. It's done. My gluten-free, low sugar, beautiful walnut muffins are ready to go in the oven. See those? I'm gonna plop them in the oven. And I'm gonna set the timer on 20 minutes just because I've learned that's what my oven will do. 20 minutes and they'll be perfect. Once those are out, I will post pictures for you so that you can see how beautiful they turned out, and I'll like open them up so you can see what they look like inside. I might even do another quick little video. So thank you for coming into my kitchen with me today and baking with me a little bit. I'm gonna do this more. Did you like this? I wanna hear from you. So talk to me, let me know if this is something that helps you and if you like this kind of stuff, and I'll do it more. Be blessed, y'all, and be looking here on the page. Within 45 minutes or so, I'm gonna post some pictures or run another video. Be blessed with the finished product of the muffins. Have a great Friday, y'all. Happy Friday! It's Friday.